Hey, I'm Stephen Cope. Short intro here. What I'm going to do here is to counter short form AI slop. I'm going to read long form human slop, aka the edgy essays that I wrote in the freshman year at college as a philosophy major. I'm now a senior and I think it would be funny. And I'm going to include a little bit of a rant at the end about AI. But if you come here for short form, infinite doom scrolling, you're not going to get it here. If you want like immediate blasts of colors and immediate blasts of like sensational clickbait, you're not going to get that here either. But if you are tired of AI and you want to be out of the loop and force yourself into long-term, patient listening, even though the quality of the reading might not be super good, I don't know. I wrote this stuff my freshman and sophomore year. That's okay. It's just, I want to create a space where people who are frustrated with AI and frustrated with the fakeness of the digital takeover can go and retreat into one place. Whether or not I deliver on the quality of the writing is kind of besides the picture. What the main point is that people can gather and get away from the digital slop. So I've got the 4 essays pulled up on the computer right below the camera, and I'm just gonna start reading. If you don't have to watch the video if you don't want, if you just want to listen, that's okay. I will do my best. The first one, actually no, I'll start on an essay I wrote called On Philosophy. By the way, these weren't graded essays. I just wrote them for fun. Think of me what you will. On philosophy. I've concluded that the most important philosophy occurs when one asks the right questions. Often, my thoughts are a whirring pool of unconnected, unfounded ideas from various thinkers. These ideas seem to never get me anywhere, but they are fireworks trying to push through an obscure atmosphere towards the celestial truth. And truly, as an elementary student of philosophy, I wonder if these ideas will ever bring me to a fulfilling answer. Life has ultimate questions, but does humanity have yet the ability to give sufficient answers? So what do? Do I just pick one trodden path? I have been taught that philosophy is an exercise in seeking what works. We take premises as far as they go, and they lead to truth or absurdity. When one reaches a roadblock in their reasoning, they return to the fork in the road that led them astray and they retry. There seems to be a sort of direction in these inquiries towards truth, but will we ever find the all-encompassing capital T truth? We may come to learn our corner of the woods well. Will we ever escape the woods? A partial solution to the maze of our world is just as far from the actual solution as any simple mistake. But nay, I may be misled. The capital T truth is not something that is beyond us, but something that includes us. We are just too small to see the whole picture. But could we zoom out? Our good philosophy is like soaring weather balloons, continually widening our horizons of understanding. Yet, there is a peculiar aspect about the sphere of metaphysics. Say one reaches the moon. From there, the vast blue marble seems completely accounted for. What cannot be seen? However, no matter how high philosophy reaches, there will always be an unaccounted dark side in their thought. From any one viewpoint, the planet will hide its other face. Horizons teach us a valuable lesson. One can never reach it. Humans can see the sphere of knowledge, but only in a circular manner. Your position in space determines the truths you apprehend. But look, someone may say, the planet of knowledge rotates. If we remain stationary, we could, with patience, allow the ever-changing world to reveal its secrets to us. But I say, when are you ever stationary? It is impossible to stand still in the universe. In every way it moves, and you move along with it. Your perspectives and your beliefs change over time. Once you die, your ideas fertilize the soil of new philosophical inquiry. Your notions, relayed over to the next generation, change in their philosophizing as well. Soon, as the ideas are no longer yours, morphed into something that has lost both your design and your signature. Why do we do this? Why does truth console us? It is the fact that we will never capture it all at once enough to stop the enterprise of philosophy. As pessimistic as I may sound, I do not believe in giving up. We can always discover more. To be a thing in this world is to always possess more qualities than what was previously accounted for. The ultimate solutions of yesterday become the premises of tomorrow. Philosophy is not about getting out of the woods, it's about continually drawing a better map. I think that one's pretty good. I actually kind of like that one. It is like edgy and pessimistic, kind of like coded throughout the whole thing, but I think it's pretty well written. I don't know, don't grade me. Also, I hope my microphone right here is recording, because the last time I tried to film a long form video, it just didn't record. So this may just be here for looks, but you know what? So am I. So we're gonna flip to the next one, called On Perception and Its Implications. Mindfulness is said to be a focus on pure sensation while being apt to suspend judgment. Judgments then can come after the waters are calm, smooth and guided by a clear cognition. Let us investigate this realm of thought. Feeling is connection. One is impressed by the bright sun and the dim jeweled stars with the same degree of emotional thrust. To be influenced, we must sense it, and to perceive it, we must be aware. Perception has a sort of cognitive contextualization, parentheses, an apprehending of the world in terms of interpretations and metaphors, close parentheses, that pure sensation, if we are to isolate it, seems to lack. However, perception and sensation are not separate. Sensation is a part of perception. This is important to recognize, for value judgments and symbolic filtrations choose what we perceive to a large degree. The above definition of mindfulness is therefore dubious if it is taken to be thorough. Another pitfall needs to be avoided. Let us not make the rude mistake to let perception be equivocated with our idolatrous human consciousness. For the brutal person beats their dog and raises, that's a crazy line. For the brutal person beats their dog and raises the wild because these subjects in a stupid judgment, quote, cannot perceive, unquote, the sensation of our maliciousness upon them. I think there's something about veganism. I don't even know. Just because you can be an idiot in a more complex ways than the rest of nature, you should not tyrannically burn it all under your foot for its supposed baseness. Our consciousness merely makes us squirm more strangely in the quicksand of death. Man should thus be humble about his, quote, high perceptions. Awareness is thus not like a ladder, but a gentle hill. Parentheses, excuse the crudeness of this analogy, close parentheses. Humanity, as annoying as we are, has the right to recognize that we stand a little farther and higher up this hill. We are thus able to see a more complete horizon than the rest of creation. But that is not to say that the poor newt, N-E-W-T, actually, this is fun, cannot see the horizon as well. Its little view is a landscape too. Perception is married to awareness, and I did not intend to insist the opposite in my preceding critique, but it is open to all its variances of the conscious expression. If the mindful one was to embark on introspection, then they would perceive that there is, quote, no self apart from the collection of experiences, unquote. The turn from self to soul seems to be explained by the confusion of experiencing experiences. I would say experiences 4 times if I knew you were bothered by the grammar, as a sort of independent, continuous substance. Such a strange theological substance suspiciously apprehends the perceptions. This is absurd. Where does this absolute soul go when the mind is altered? Run headlong into a pole hard enough and your soul will be changed more drastically than any act of the Holy Spirit ever did. What of alcoholics? Drunkenness must be a demonic possession, for hard liquor kicks out this discerning soul hastily. I could go on, but pointing out how those who, through disease common with old age, lose or totally alter the continuous conscious self cannot reasonably be said to have the same, quote, soul. Oh, what happens to their inheritance of heaven if they renounce their faith on account of this degrading would likely offend some religious friends. What must we say then? We have forfeited our divine place as the one truly aware animal, and we have lost our soul. I recommend that a person be sober and true in her introspection. Yes, turn the experiential vectors inward, but recognize that nature, as well as the filtrating perceptual symbols that the universe coerced you into having, made you. This, being correct about the nature of perception, will help you clear and humble about your place in the world. Be clear and humble about your place in the world. That seems pretty good to me. Okay, I'll read the next ones better next time. I don't know why I said parentheses out loud and quote out loud. I'm just playing fast and loose with that. I think I remember what this, I basically understand what this is about, but it's really dense, but maybe not in as intelligent way. It's as Kant or something. It sounds like trying to be Kant, but really it's not as smart. But it's not AI. I wrote the thing. I wrote it. Okay? Think of it what you will. All right. Next one. I wrote, satisfaction as a sufficient moral. That is the title. Pawns in the ordered chaos of our making, we have learned from the great atheistic prophet of the past that God is dead. To Prod, I insist that he should not shy away from the guilty dagger he used. Prophets always play a vital role in the fulfillment of their revelations. They make their own Messiah. Now that divine authority has withered away, what then shall we do? Still, such a good question has dubious implications. There's a suspicious assumption that we knew what to do when God was here in the first place. The tale of religion and scripture is enough evidence. We know not of God's commands. Nevertheless, the Most High has been carried away by the tide, swallowed by the obscurity of the deep. Though there was never a true ought in the first place, the thou shall is clearly and certainly absent from the picture in the first place. Some people today see this. The glitter of the past is no longer being mistaken for gold. We could throw out the fool's gold. But should we do such a thing? When we tell a friend to, quote, stay gold, are we telling them to be brilliant in constitution or brilliant in shine? What do we mean by be excellent? Fool's gold was labeled as such not because it was foolish, but because it belonged to the fool. Yet I deem it unfair to call them fools. They saw something grand and the world tore them down. The dancer is absurd to those who cannot hear the music. Nietzsche quote, I think. The dismissive audience were fools all along. They never discerned that what they called fool's gold was all there was. Meaning is not immanent. Meaning is not merely in the sublime. Meaning was in the tasteful experience. All of us are art critics, and we should be inclined to abandon our moral geometry and realize moral poetry. If we aim to be excellent in this sense of shine, then we could be guided by the moderate disposition of satisfaction. This new moral must be a mean between agasia and addiction. I remember looking up the word agasia, A-G-E-U-S-I-A. I think it has something about taste. I don't know. It's Aristotle quoted, like Aristotle's golden mean or whatever. Back to the text. The tasteless person starves, and the addict starves sweetly. The excellent person, however, detects what is nourishing for her. She might even listen to her friend, who is wiser in the areas she is neatly interested in. But what is nourishing for her? In the end, that is for her to decide. She decides it soberly, not under the yoke of a divinely sovereign throng, nor out of the dismay that comes with the cowardice of surrendering to the void. I call this moral sufficient because I'm aware of how law as a moral never compelled anyone. It is acceptance, or the lack thereof, that encourages people. The law is merely the sign for the tunnel. Turning away could get you lost, nay worse, rejected. But what does the destruction of omnipresent legality warrant us to do? But does the destruction of omnipresent legality warrant us to do whatever we want? Where is accountability? Accountability is among us. It is from us. The destructive nihilist should be careful to not worship the free-for-all moral. He is committing idolatry. When someone, through their divine principle, commits idolatry, they create God. Then this mistake introduces the metaphysical problem that he swore to free himself from. Okay, this sounds like YouTube Shorts, Nietzsche edits. My mustache is not as good as Nietzsche's, and I don't think this will get as much views, but that's kind of what it sounds like. It's okay. I had some banger lines in here. The glitter of the past is no longer being mistaken for gold. I think that's a pretty hard bar. And then, where is it? We should be inclined to abandon our moral geometry and realize moral poetry. I think I might reuse that one. That's pretty good. For fun, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to put that in the essay. Like a real essay. All right. The last one, with the edgiest title of them all, Withering and Rebellion. Pre-story behind this, I thought it was such like a genius aha moment in my own philosophical writing that I sent this to my professors. Again, not like a graded essay, I just sent it to them and asked them to read it. And they were like, oh, okay, I guess I'll read it. They never read it. And it's okay. I don't know. I was being weird and edgy philosophy major, freshman and sophomore year. I think this was written at the beginning of my sophomore year. I digress. Withering and Rebellion. Finality, death, is the surest of our knowledge. Metaphysicians and theologians alike pretend to solve the constricting discomfort that this fact creates by sneaking in objective meaning or divinity to be worshipped. Both are the same thing wearing different masks, through cracks of thought. But as children come to learn, all sand castles fade away. Scratch into cliff walls all the scribbles you want. The bare stone faces do not care. And just as soon as the scribe dies, bludgeoned to death by his very own writing stone, his enemy picks it up and writes blasphemy. Blasphemy is law, though. But there is a truth far more tragic than the goodness and life created by enemies: forgetfulness, nay more, irrelevance. The enemies who were truly the greatest of friends are stone scratches themselves. Impersonal wind and air smudge their lives into obscurity. Unconnected and uncaring to the feuds and the glories of the past, someone equally obscure finds the writing stone. She sees the cliff. She walks on. Where did the meaning go? The scripture, in what vase does it lie? Everything is created and destroyed. You are withering. Look at your hand. You may be young, a bright, blooming flower. Yet we also know this: when there are brilliantly bright flames, it is precisely the time they are dying the quickest. We are not fooled. Yes, we are all old, incredibly old and dying. Our world, parallel and created within us, dies too. All the thinkers pretend they cannot cope with the fact that their meanings and morals are wonderful conjectures, and they are more like tattoos that they drew on themselves, and they are not part of the biology of the universe. When all that beautiful thought withers away, how good will it be for us? No good, nothing, absolutely nothing. There is no one for it to be good for. Arrows shot, but there was never a target. Arrow shot, despair is certain, pain objectively certain, death metaphysically certain. But aren't we describing the athlete? She labors and she endures in her race, on, pushing and fighting, and she meets a mark. She created this mark, for all intents and purposes. She goes again, and the goal is raised. Dutiful suffering, and she fails. She goes again, failure, again, many failures, but somehow there is marginal improvement. Suffering ensues, and she makes it, success. The mark is raised. This process repeats until she can no longer run. Is she in despair? Maybe. Surely every now and then, for she is human. Pain, she's also experiencing. Pain is a reliable enemy and friend, but there is a mystery, a glimmering curiosity in the sea of futility. She is satisfied. She rebelled. An absurd respect is adorned over her neck, the golden medal that she forged. Philosophies wither and God fades, yet the pinkness in the clover lasts only for a beautiful instant, so do not miss it. Do not miss it. And why would you walk away from this wonderful playing field, this wonderful deathbed? You might encourage others to be blind to temporal excellence. Such a deed may be the only immorality. The flowers of the field toil day and night, and it is an existential injustice for you not to wither away beautifully with them. All right, not as many like banger lines as the previous one. Of all four that I read, I like the first one better. I think I'm going to stick with that one as my best. I don't know if it's the first one that I wrote, but I'm not going to worry about it. But about the AI thing, I think something that was special about these essays that I wrote a couple of years ago to just be edgy and be different, in pinning that against the current like overtaking of AI within our culture, within our experience, maybe within the realm of people who think about philosophy. These essays were written before I was really familiar with AI, and I think they were written before AI really started to like gain momentum. I think ChatGPT was around by the time I was writing this, but I had not really used AI proper for like another year. I was a little bit late to the party, but the point is that, I don't know, I feel like when you read these stuff like this, as like parting the comments on how good it is quality-wise, I feel like you can hear the humanness in it. I was talking to a sibling earlier, and I was trying to highlight what if you created a robot with all of like the cognitive, like the mechanical abilities of a person and the ability to produce like speech and to produce signs of thought that was appearing human, like infallibly. So like you built like AGI, or you built a true artificial intelligence. Then what would the difference be between us, like a true human, and a forged human, whatever it is? And I said what made it different was that there is what it's like, I'll put it air quotes, what it's like to be-ness that a person and a living creature and an organism, but most notably a person, what it's like to be-ness is something that they have that I'm struggling to be convinced that a robot can have. I don't know. I think I got that idea from Thomas Nagel. I think he wrote an essay called "What It's Like to Be a Bat," and I kind of plagiarized that idea, or just reformed it in my head. But I feel like you can hear the humanness, and you can empathize with what you're reading and stuff like this. And when you're empathizing with what you're reading, you're empathizing with the human that's there. And sorry, long rant, but the what it's like to be-ness of me is detectable within this essay. And you also, as a human, your what it's like to be-ness is coming to meet that, and empathy is what's connecting them. Long story short, I think this, I don't know, I think it's just special that the way that humans can write and the way that they have that there's a unique experiential standpoint that living creatures, non-mechanical creatures, non-AI, organic people possess that not only I don't think robots possess, AI possess, but I think you can also detect the lack of what it's like to be-ness within AI-produced slop and within AI-produced stuff that's ostensibly high quality. Okay, I'm not gonna make an outro super long. I hope you enjoy this. If you got to this far in the video, maybe you subscribed, maybe you didn't, that's okay. But I hope I helped you escape your dopamine prison for infinite doom scrolling. If you go back to it, I hope you get back out of it, and that's that. I might make another one of these in the future. Thank you.